This is John Chandler, and I'm here with Jack Gassmann, who's visiting from Ireland here down in New Orleans, and we've been having a good time fencing and going out and seeing some music. And this is the last day, and we've been playing a lot of games, and this is going to be our last little game. We thought we'd record it, and we're going to be showing off the Stara Szkola system, which is a simplified version of Codex Martialis, which is designed to be a little more OSR friendly. And the way Stara Szkola works is it's sort of similar to a normal OSR game in that we do use a 20-sided dice to determine, can I have a couple more 20-sided?
Yep. To
determine whether you hit somebody when you're fighting, but the characters will max out at usually between two and 4 dice, and so because we have some experienced people that are going to be fighting here, they've all got 4 dice, which is kind of the baseline. So the dice are your options in the fight, and the options generally boil down to attacking, defending, moving, and other things. So there are other things that would be like drawing a weapon or climbing over a wall or something like that. But normally with Codex, you have, for either attack or defense, you have the option of either doing multiple die rolls of your 4 dice independently, or if you want to try to improve your luck, improve your odds, you can do several dice together and just pick the highest number. So that has a tendency to increase the rate at which you'll get critical successes, which we all love in these games, and very much reduce the rate of critical failures, which are a big problem in our game in particular. So it gives you a chance to manage your risk, and gives you a lot of dynamism in your options, and whether you want to sort of do lots of quick risky attacks or some very carefully planned ones, and the same applies for defense and movement. So rather than go on and on about how it works, we're just going to show you how it works. Mm-hmm. Jack and I both generated characters, and we're going to have them run into a little dispute with some villains. I'm going to put our villains over here. So I think the scenario is going to be that our 2 guys are survivors of a shipwreck who were rescued in a little town. They were picked up by some fishermen and brought back to shore. They were in a leaky dinghy that was all that was left of their ship that was damaged by a storm. They get to the town, and they're talking to the town folks, and the town folks let them know that the town itself is under the ruthless, abusive reign of some nasty pirates who are the Victual Brothers. So we're taking these pirates from the little default scenario that comes in Stara Szkola, and we're going to be running those. And so I'm going to be in charge of the heels here, the bad guys, who are these Victual Brothers pirates. And as you can see, they're quite mean. You can just kind of get an idea that the guy's not very nice. And Jack is going to play our heroes, the 2 characters, one of whom, Pavel Zumbach, is a journeyman cutler from Krakow, and the other one, who's our other fellow here?
Diego Alvarez. I had some Conquistador miniatures I painted up so that I had handy, so I wanted to kind of get some use out of those, so I thought I'd make.
So what's his background, Diego?
Diego, he was a soldier, fought in the Reconquista, and he got himself there some victories and some Ehren, which opened up a career as a noble for a while. So he worked as a kind of a quartermaster and kind of a higher servant for a noble house and kind of a hired muscle. And then he went back and he started doing soldier work, and he ended up now kind of in Poland after being a merchant marine on a Spanish trading vessel. He ended up kind of marooned on spending all of his money and sleeping through the departure of the ship that was supposed to take him up. So he's now had to take some work for the city, and he ended up here.
So we're kind of riffing off of the life path character generation process that we went through, where you kind of go through the different little careers in your life, and you have little incidents that happen to you, and it's a little bit like the old Traveler one or something like that, but simpler, because this is Stara Szkola. It's designed to be simple. So we kind of flesh it out, like the various things that happen. So here we have our little board where we've got our Vitalen, two of whom are armed with spears. And they're well kitted out. These guys actually have pikes, but they'll have to stand in for spears. One of them has a hand gon, or a hand caliber and a gun. And then we have our protagonist over here. And so your guy's like a rodolero, right?
Yes.
So a rodolero is a sword and shield fighter, and the other guy, the journeyman cutler, he's sort of a swordsman. He's also got a buckler, but his main thing is he's got a crossbow, which here looks like a gun, but it's got an invisible prod.
I didn't have any.
We didn't have a crossbow
miniatures with me.
I got to get a crossbow guy. So we're going to. These guys have decided to take on the cause, having had a couple of pints, and being grateful to these nice fishermen in this little village that rescued them. They decided they're going to try to handle their problem for them, and try their best against these rather dangerous Vitalen Brüder. And so we are going to start off by rolling initiative.
Okay.
So you got yours, and I'll do mine. So, and let's get a little piece of paper here so I can kind of track all this stuff. And anybody that has a long weapon or a missile weapon gets a free dice on initiative in this. So
I'll roll first for your guy with the stirrup crossbow.
Yeah, he'll have.
And he rolls a 6 and a 9.
So his best is a 9. Yeah. Okay. And I'll roll for one of the spearmen. His best is a 15.
Okay. And I'll now roll for Diego Alvarez. He got a 14.
Okay. I'll roll for the next Vitalen Brüder Spearman. We got a 19. And then for the Vitalen Brüder Gunner. Now I'm going to assume nobody he got a 16. So I'm going to assume that nobody has their weapons loaded yet. And in Stara Szkola, there's not that much of a penalty anyway for loading a weapon, but they're going to start off with unloaded. And they don't know the Vitalen Brüder don't know that they're in a fight yet. So we're going to kind of start with that. They see these other guys that are armed and they're approaching. But let's start with that. So let's say the first very attentive spearman. They're all fairly alert, and they're sitting around drinking in front of their little hangout. What kind of business have you got with us, boys?
I'm guessing we've been warned by the villagers that these are.
Yeah, you know that they're pirates. They're bad guys.
Cool. So I think we're just kind of gonna quietly ready weapons. You guys have first initiative, all of your guys.
Okay, so their first move was to just sort of query what's going on.
Okay, then I think if we're gonna start a fight, we might as well start. They're kind of here. They're here behind this kind of shed here.
Yeah, you can kind of see one of them.
Yeah, I can kind of see one of them.
But you see enough movement that there's a couple more. And they already told you there's 3 of them. The villagers told you there's 3 of them already.
So I think I'm gonna see if I can. How much charisma has your guy got? Because I'm pretty low on it.
He's got semi-decent, and
12.
He's got social. I think courtly and social. Either one of those would apply. So you could make a try to bluff him.
They've seen us, so I can't. Stealth isn't really a thing.
Right.
I'm gonna try and roll a bluff to see if I can get them to come out.
Okay. I don't have any really appropriate stats here, so I'm just gonna roll a wisdom check, which is with no mod. So, let's hear what do you say? What is your bluff? Let's hear the bluff.
Quick! We got an injured man here. He's we found a burger. We've dragged him out of the lake. Does anybody here have any medical skills? I think.
All right, roll. That's pretty good bluff. Give you a free dice on that one.
No, so, oh no, there's a rich injured burger here. Oh no. He's so heavy. All the gold in his pockets. Oh my god. 13.
All right, here's the wisdom check. Okay, they're like, well, don't handle him so roughly. Bring him over here. We'll help lighten the load. And so they're getting up, but they're not like super alert yet. And so they all kind of move into view. So they're coming out here, but they're not like ready, like in fighting mode yet. They're sort of like very interested in the prospect of. Did he have cargo? Where's the cargo?
He's over here. His armor is heavy. Jesus.
So you're kind of like helping up the other guy, like you're holding him up.
No, I'm kind of like around the corner here, kind of like I'm hauling on something.
Okay, so these guys are going to kind of blow their first turn. They're just sort of curious. They've been swayed.
Okay. Well, and then this guy's going to roll a stealth check. He's talking, but let's. Now I see if he can kind of
sneak around.
Well, he's already talked, so he can't really be aiming the weapon at the same time. But maybe I can stealthily start to kind of prep the weapon.
Yeah, you could be like maybe. Okay, I'm not going to give you advice.
Yeah, I can. Can I roll stealth to see how well I can if I can aim?
Pretend you're tying your shoe and actually load the crossbow, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'll do another wisdom.
Turn around. I'll turn around as if something's.
You're gonna have to beat a 15.
Okay.
Nope. That son of a bitch is loading a crossbow. So.
Okay. Well, but I'm still loading. I'm.
Quick, Hans, load your gun.
They
level their spears.
I forgot that I didn't load my gun earlier. I should have done it before I lured them out. Or load my crossbow.
Okay, so here we go. The first turn is the gunner is spanning his weapon, He's loading his crossbow,
and I'm loading mine.
These guys are these sons of bitches are trying to trick us. So spending 1 MP to move, and that's going to be 3 movements. But we don't normally use.
Before that happens, while I'm doing this, I mean, I'm still spanning my crossbow. So wouldn't I get to shoot it off before they get to?
Yeah. So in Stara Szkola, it only takes 1 MP to span the weapon.
Yeah,
so
okay.
so you spend 1 to span the weapon. That also means it's the same for the light gun. So he's got his gun coming together, and you've spanned your crossbow. So.
But wouldn't I have spanned it on my turn then?
Yeah, I think you're a little bit ahead of him. I'm gonna give you that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll finish. So I spent 1 MP. So my character has 4 MP, right?
Yep.
So I spent 1 to span and kind of I'll try and quietly span.
Let me ask you a question: is the Rodolero guy got a big shield or just like a buckler?
He's got a mini Pavis.
So he could rest his crossbow on the mini Pavis.
Okay, cool.
If the guy kneels down.
I think we can definitely do that. I'm into that. So I spent 1 to load it.
Yeah.
I can say, well, I spent 1 roll. Would we say that roll for bluffing?
Yeah, because it was time was spent.
Yeah.
Talking doesn't normally cost 1, but if you're spending a while, back and forth.
I rolled it to try and bluff, which means I spent time and energy kind of trying to disguise the movement.
Right, yeah.
So I'm now I've got 2 left to do 2 dice shot at the nearest guy.
Okay.
Right?
Now you do see a glint of metal. He's wearing a breastplate.
So what's the bypass on that?
It's 1 free dice for the bypass. So he'll get a free dice for his defense.
So I'll
Bring me that green one.
So I'll roll and I'll try and bypass because this isn't. That's a 19.
Wow.
Okay,
So
that's
he's
pretty good.
going to try his defense. He's spending 1 and he gets 1 free. And that's not good enough. So you got him.
So I got a bypass.
So it's a D8 damage and he's got a hunting bolt. So it's +8. It's the white dice over there.
Yeah. Got D8 and he's got +2, right?
Right.
And we're using the death spiral rule, aren't
That's
we?
right. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing we forgot to mention. So we have a new rule that's been added to Stara Szkola, which we call the death spiral, which is that if any character takes 10 or more damage in a single attack, then they lose an MP.
I think didn't we say 8?
Well, yeah. Let's go with 10 because it's in the. That's what it is in the book. So
Okay.
I'll just stick with that for now. So the current version of Stara Szkola has this rule in it. We're toying with the idea of making the threshold 8. We'll see if we get enough of these in this one. So yeah, roll your damage dice.
So I'm rolling a 3.
3. So that's 5 damage. Not enough to cause a serious, MP losing injury, but enough of a little bit of a ding, and he's hurt. So.
Oh, and would I? Yeah, cool. No, never mind. I didn't roll an extra for supporting, but I didn't call it. So
Okay, yeah, we forgot to support the weapon on the little shield. So, all right, so these guys basically paused to see what was going to happen. They got one of them gets shot. So now they've spent 1 die. They're going to spend another die to move a little closer. Still, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this guy's already spent 1 on defense. So he's going to wait, and then this guy is going to spend a 3rd dice, getting close enough to attack, and then he's going to just roll a 1 die attack against your Rodolero. And are you going to defend?
I'm going to use. He's going to do a 1 dice attack against my Rodolero.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to use my. Is he going to try and bypass?
Nope.
Then I'm going to use a 1 dice defense.
Yeah, and you'll get 1 for the shield.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 1 dice from the shield. I'm just going to use my shield.
Well, you have to spend 1 to get the shield dice. So you'll spend 1 and you'll get 2.
Right.
Here's my attack.
I'll spend 1 to get 2 then.
13.
12.
Yeah.
That's a 17.
What? Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay.
Sorry,
All right. Ping. The spear bounces off the shield, and he's out of MP now. He was a little extra aggressive, but now the gunner guy can shoot. So he's going to try to shoot at the crossbowman, and he's going to spend 3 dice on his shot because
does he have an unobstructed view to the crossbow?
I mean, it's close enough. The rule in SSK is if people are in combat and you miss, then you got to roll against your buddy.
Okay.
So he's not going to shoot at this guy because he's actually in combat. And I'm just going to assume that he has a window at some point to shoot at this guy, right? So
okay.
Give me another 20-sided dice. All right. So here's his shot. And does the burger guy have any MP left?
No.
Okay, so that's going to be reflex defense. So 16 is the top number, and you can roll a d12 for reflex defense, which in this case would mean the.
Okay. So let's.
He has a buffalo, but it's not out, so you would have to.
Yeah. So for those people who aren't so familiar.
Where's the d12?
For those people who aren't so familiar with SSK, right? So I can choose. I don't get a defense dice roll in defense or a d20 to roll unless I choose to spend an MP on it. Otherwise, I'm just rolling a d12.
Yeah, pause it for a second. So to kind of reiterate what Jack is getting at, once you either run out of your martial pool or decide not to use it, you then get what we call a reflex defense, used to be called passive defense, and that's just going to be a d12. So in this case, your d12, and if you get a 12, it's an automatic success. But you didn't. So you got hit, and that's with a handgun and with lead bullets, so it's d10 plus 2. You kind of got lucky though. So
so you just kind of got winged.
Grazed, two, so it's 2 plus 2, 4 damage. Your armor takes off 2, so you take 2 damage. You may want to mark that.
Yeah.
Mark that down somewhere. I can mark it down here. I'll put it right here. So that's all these guys, and your Rodolero's still got moves left, I think.
Yeah. So my Rodolero still has, he only spent 1, so he has 3 that he can spend. So, and the way SSK works is the first attack, the long weapon gets the bonus dice.
Right. That's what we call reach and measure in SSK. So this gives the advantage to the reach weapon, the longer weapon, and then after that, the shorter weapon gets the advantage.
Okay, so I'm gonna put for my first attack. I'm just gonna put 1 dice in.
Okay, so he's down to reflex defense, so he can only do d12. So roll your attack. Okay, a 7. So I blocked it with the spear.
Yeah, you just kind of like just jukes out of the way.
So now the second attack, you get the advantage because it's
Yeah.
drilling into distance.
So I'll get that. I got 1 dice that I'm spending and 1 bonus dice from that.
Right, go ahead and roll it. 17.
So you need a 12.
So I failed, but you forgot to think about the armor. And this guy's got very good armor, breastplate, damage reduction 10. You can roll the damage anyway, but it's probably not going to do anything.
Yeah, well, there's no chance of it if it's a D8.
Yeah. So
Okay.
clang, you hit the breastplate.
Okay, so on this next one, I'm going to now I'm going to using my third
You're going to bypass.
bypass.
So because he's trying to bypass, the guy with the armor, the spearman, actually gets an extra dice for defense. So it's a little harder to get around the armor. So he's going to get 2, but they're just d12s because it's still reflex defense. Another 17. And the best is a 9, so you got him and you got around the armor this time. So roll your damage, which
Cool.
I think you get a +2 on that.
Oh
4.
dear.
Alright. Okay, so now it's a new round. Okay, so the gunner here is going to reload. That costs 1 MP, and then he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to spend 2 for movement and 1 for reloading, and it leaves him with 1. And he's going to take a shot, and we're within 15 feet. So he's only got 1 die left for his shot, but because he's in his close range, which is 20 feet. Oh no, wait, what am I saying? These are each 10-foot squares, so. No, he's not in his good range. So, so he's just a 1 shot. So he's going to take a 1 die shot at your
Okay.
crossbow guy. Do you want to defend?
This is a new round, right?
Yep, new round.
So I think I will put. I'll put 2 dice into defense.
Okay, here's the attack. 18.
And he gets the second one, right, from the close range?
No, I was thinking 5-foot square because he's a 10-foot square.
Okay. So.
No good. So you got hit. Another D10. So it's going to be 8. He's got light textile armor, so that takes off 2. So it's 6 damage. 6 more damage on that guy. So he's been injured a bit. He's a pretty strong guy, so he kind of got winged again. Boom! So a little chunk of flesh goes off his shoulder. It wasn't the best shot. So then the next person is one of these spearmen. So it's going to be this guy right here. He is going to spend 1 MP to move a little bit closer to the Rodolero. And so here's where it's getting that sticky for the Rodolero. He's going to try and make he spent 1 to move. He's going to spend 2 on his first attack, and because he's got the reach advantage initially, he gets a free 1. So Rodolero gets a free 1 too for his shield, and you've got all your dice. So how many are you going to spend?
I'm going to put 2 in defense because I also have the parrying master cut feat or trait.
Oh, okay, right. All right.
So that means I'm rolling 3 defense dice.
Okay. So here's the attack. Best is a 19.
Okay, so that'll be hard to beat.
Yep. Your best is a 16.
And he's not trying to bypass, is he?
No.
Okay.
He hasn't figured out what kind of armor you have yet, I think. Nobody's hit you yet, as far as I can remember. So he did hit this time, so he's gonna learn now. And so it's a D8 plus 1 damage. 2 plus 1 is 3 damage. And what kind of armor do you have?
I have mail, a shirt, and a cap, so that's damage reduction 8.
Okay, so that clang is now he realizes that you've got mail under your clothing, so that's his spear attack didn't do any good, but he sees that you're ganged up on. Normally, if I had the spear, I would move back after attacking, but I'm gonna attack again. So I spent 2.
At what point does my parrying master cut come in?
If you succeed, then you get your counterattack.
If I succeed,
So this parrying master cut, for those of us anybody watching that might be a fencer, This is what we would call a Versetzen in Liechtenauer Kunsteffekt in medieval German fencing. What that is like a single time counter. Like he's attacking me, his cut comes in, and I parry it and stab him in the same movement. So one of a couple of other devices that would be similar. So but in order for that to work, you have to win the parry. So you got hit, but your male protected you. He spent one moving, two attacking. He's got one left, and he's going to spend it on another stab attempt. You'll get a free dice for your shield. He only gets one dice because he's lost his advantage.
And this guy still hasn't used much, or one of them.
No, it's this guy. He's the one. So actually, you get two free dice. You get one for the shield and one because now your sword has the advantage. The shorter weapon has the advantage. So
yeah, let's put one in defense.
So he rolled a 4. This is a very low percentage attack. Your best is a 17, so you easily parried it. But you should roll 3. Roll 3.
Oh yeah.
All right, so 17. So you parried it. He's done. He's done everything he can do. A 15, I think. Right. I don't know. It was lower than yours. So anyway, he's
looking up for a bind as well.
Oh right. Sorry. I moved the dice before I should have. Okay. And because the initiative was high for all these guys, this guy now attacks. So his first attack, he's going to do 2 dice, plus he gets a third because of the reach advantage. So he's trying to stab you, Rodolero. How many dice do you want to spend on defense? You already spent 2, I think, right?
Yeah. Is he trying bypass again?
Yes, actually, he is going to try bypass because he saw that.
I'm going to put 1 in, and I'm going to get 1 for my shield and 1 for the fact that you're trying to bypass.
And 1 more for. Oh no, yeah, that's right. 1 for your shield, 1 more. Right, yeah, that'll be it.
Because the bypass.
Yeah.
Penalty.
Here's the attack attempt. Top roll is a 17.
Okay.
You got 19
and a 17.
Okay. So we can do. We could select the bind, and it would still work for your Versetzen.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is that he parried. His parry becomes an attack against my guy, and that's the roll. So now my guy's going to try to use his last dice to try to defend.
And because I have the that's because I have the binding trait on my arming sword.
Yep, and that's going to give you another attack after this.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. This is your first defense, which is also an attack, and I am trying to defeat that. I rolled a 15, which failed, and so you can roll damage.
So he has I
had to beat your 17.
Yeah, after you bind, you then have to roll to beat the 17.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So now roll damage.
Cool. And I don't get to choose whether I try and bypass.
Yeah, we didn't. You could have specified that. I would just got more defense dice, but
yeah, I'm happy if you want to roll another dice to try and bypass.
Okay,
that.
Okay.
Because I actually get some kind of.
I failed. So
cool. And now I also have the precise trait on my arming sword, which has an effect on.
That's a free dice for bypass.
Okay, cool. So that wouldn't affect.
That'll be for follow up attacks. You got to follow up with the bind. So roll damage. So that's 7 plus 2, plus 2. So right.
9.
Yeah. So okay. So this guy's quite hurt. He's not quite over that threshold thing yet. But you get another attack, and he is out of MP now. So you want to roll your other attack? You get a free dice for it.
Yeah, I'll roll a 2 dice. And do I also?
And if you want to bypass, you'll get another free dice.
Yeah, I want to bypass.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me grab a D. All right, go. So I get an extra D12 for defense. All right, so your best is what? 16. Okay, so 7 and a 5. You got me. So roll damage. 5. Okay, so this guy only had 20, and that takes him to 21 damage. You just killed him. Fuck. So like little upsets him, stabbed him in the face, and then the follow-up cut his throat, and he just falls over dead.
Excellent.
Right past the armor.
And I still technically, I only spent 1 defense dice on that initial one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
everything else was free.
Everything.
But you did spend 2 against the other guy, so you've got 1 left.
I've got 1 left.
Yeah.
And everybody else on your team has spent their
defense.
Defense.
They've all done their thing.
So I think I'll just try a real quick bypass attack on your spearman.
Okay, so that this is the other spearman, so he still gets he's going to get another free dice, one because of the bypass, one because his spear's longer, and this is your first attack. So here we go. An 8 and a 6, and then the other one is a 10. So a 10.
8, 6, and a 10. So I'm rolling 2 dice.
20.
Oh, a natural 20. Diego Alvarez seems to be quite good at this.
Yeah, so this is going to be double damage, so you get to do 2d8 plus 4. So that's 11 plus 4 is 15. So he's at 19 damage out of 20, and that is going to be a death spiral. So
he's down to 3 MP.
Yeah, so he's seriously hurt. He's like, oh shit, this was not what I was looking forward to at all today. And does the Cutler, our burger friend, have any MP left?
He spent 2 on defense, so he should still have.
He's got 2, so he can load and shoot.
Yeah.
And he's in close range. He's within his close range, so he'll get a free shot, 3 dice. And the guy he's shooting at now, are you going to bypass?
What kind of armor he got?
They all got the same armor, breastplate and a helmet.
Okay, so I'm going to bypass.
Okay, so I get a free dice, but it's just D12 because I'm out of my MPs. Best is a 10. Got him. So roll D8 plus 2.
D8 plus 2. 3.
Okay, so this is the first time this guy's gotten wounded. Okay, so it's a new turn. So I can tell you what, this dude's tired of fighting this Rodolero. He's like, I don't know why there's so much violence in the world. People just can't seem to ever reach reasonable compromises. So he's going to spend 1 MP, 1, 2, 3, and he's going to hold there for a second. The gunner is going to reload and shoot. So 1 to reload, 1 to shoot, and he's going to spend 3 dice at the other gunner. He's going to spend all of his dice. Oh, why should I do that? No, he's going to spend 2 dice. Let's save 1 for defense. So, gunner, do you want to defend?
Yeah, I'll spend 2 in defense.
Okay, here's my attack. Ooh, a 4 and a 1. All right, you dodged it.
Okay.
And I'm holding my last one for defense, which is going to have to be with the gun because I haven't had time. I have to spend a dice to draw my sword.
Okay, so I don't think this guy likes the idea that you're getting away.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2, 3.
The scary Lero.
Yeah. So I spent 1 to out of my 4.
Mm-hmm.
Spent 1 to move. Now I'm gonna make a. I'm gonna try and make a bypass attack, which will give me a free dice.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So I get 1 for the one I'm going to spend, and 1 for my longer weapon, and 1 because you're trying to bypass. So roll your attack. Ooh, very lousy roll. And let's see what I get. 19. So parry.
You parry that easily, but that wasn't. Now, I'm going to continue the attack,
Mm-hmm.
and I get a free dice for the fact that
You're now in the closer range.
closer range, and a free dice from the bypass. So I'm rolling.
Right. So and I still get 1 for the extra for the bypass. Ooh, very low rolls though.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and then here's my response. And I got a 13 and a 17, so that's a good parry again. Clack, clack.
Okay, I have 1 less MP, and I'm going to try the same thing again. And hopefully I'm going to stop rolling so badly. Best with 15, 11, 2.
Okay, he's going to defend with 1 and gets a free 1 because it's a bypass. His best is an 8, you got him.
So, yeah, now I get to roll a D8 with no damage reduction for the armor because it's a bypass.
Yep, and he only had 1 left, so he is dead. Another cutthroat.
Okay.
Moral of this story is do not pick fights with Spaniards.
Okay, so this
Gentlemen.
this gentleman over here, he's got
Reloading.
yeah, he's reloading. And he spent 2 on defense.
So he's only got 1 left. But he gets a free dice because of the range.
Well, once he reloads, he'll only have 1 dice left, so I'll still roll with 2 dice.
Yeah, 1 for the range, and then for my defense, I'll have 1 extra for bypass. Yeah. 19 is your best.
Yeah.
And 17 was my best, and that's not enough.
Yep. So.
Roll damage. Just 1. So that's another 5. He's definitely hurt. And now it's a new turn. And let me tell you, this guy's going to do 4 dice and leaving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's just running, and that's the end of the fight. He's beating feet. So we can see here that Jack's character, who has a little sword and a shield, he's a rodolero, and a trained one, a soldier. So he's got a little bit of particular combat skill, and Jack, he did pretty much what you would do as a rodolero. You kind of corkscrew in, you're being very careful on your initial opening attack, and then you go for the kill once you're in close, which is what he did twice. It turns out, I didn't think these two guys were gonna win, because the Vital and Bruder are pretty heavily armed and they have good armor, but yeah, the shield is good, and the rodolero is scary. The trained skill really helped a lot.
Couple things that really kind of helped there was the arming sword has that precise skill that has the
precision for bypassing.
Which gives the bypass 3 dice, and also the binding can help me. I got a bit lucky, but I think I also very much. One thing that's very fun about Codex always is it really does reward kind of careful creation and kind of, as you call it, as referred to sometimes as min-maxing,
Yeah.
I definitely decided that I wanted this guy to fight like Rodolero, and I kind of I constructed everything kind of around that, including the armor that doesn't have a great, it's good damage reduction, but doesn't have a high bypass, and I was hoping my shield
typical of a rodolero, right?
Yeah.
He's going to have like a separate armor on his head and his torso.
But the bypass, they added 3 dice from my shield, means that if you're trying to bypass, I have 2 free dice on any parry.
Yeah. And there are ways to beat a rodolero, and so the idea is like this game, this whole system, both Codex and Stara Szkola, are designed to encourage the min-maxing that a lot of systems try to fight against, because we're tapping into the real world here. So even though his rodolero is like super tough, there are ways around that. And like one way would be to destroy his shield. Another way would be to have grappling from a distance. Like if I had instead of a spear, I had a halberd, I could like pull him down with the halberd. So this is what you look for solutions in what actually was done. And or for example, better armor piercing weapon, about an all pike instead of the regular spear, or the halberd, which is also a very good armor piercing weapon. So yeah, that's the idea. We try to harness the more min-maxing you do sort of instinctively when you're making your characters, which by the way in Stara Szkola it goes pretty quick. You can make it. We took about half an hour or something, but you could do it quicker than that. But this is how you penetrate into the system.
Yeah.
You penetrate. You learn you learn more about it by trying to push your luck or enhance your chances.
One of my favorite. One thing I quite enjoy also about it is that you rather naturally get. We had some kind of suppression damage going on from that gunner. Though he missed, he forced me to put 2 dice into defense, which meant that I was less effective on my kind of riposte.
That you're right. That does have that effect. The impact of just sort of being distracted is sort of factored into the thing, and being scared. Being So that's all part of the whole resource management of having your 4 dice, your hand, deciding how. And then the next, and 4 dice is sort of the baseline. It's kind of like in martial arts where you get the black belt, and some people are like, oh, he's a black belt, that means he's really good. No, that means he's at the base level. The base level is your 4 dice, and then the enhancements comes from picking up these devices. The things like the counterattack thing that you had, the Versetzen. So that's how you extend it. So you're not really getting superpowers, but you're getting ways to become more effective as a fighter. You still could be subject to bad luck and things like that, but then be careful when you're fighting, or be risky. You know, if you like to take risks, if you're a gambler, you know, you could be a little more reckless. But if you're more cautious, then you're gonna you're gonna try to stack the odds in your favor, which is very much what you were doing. So yeah, that was it, guys. That's
Thank
a
you.
look at it, and I hope you like Stara Szkola. You could pick it up on drive-through and on our website. And have a good one.